First, we'll hear from Diana and then from Alexis. Diana Raab lives in Santa Barbara with her soulmate and Renaissance husband, who I just met tonight, whose name I believe is Habe. And their Malta Poo. She's the mother of 3 amazingly creative adult children. She recently received her doctorate in transpersonal psychology, which is also something that she made up. That has come in handy for life and poetry. She offers workshops in writing for transformation. She's the author of 8 books, so I guess Richard got it wrong when he was holding up just a few of them, including memoirs and 4 poetry books, the latest being Lust, which was released this past Valentine's Day, and which is on sale here tonight. She was nominated for a Pushcart Prize and is the recipient of other, and I love this, insignificant awards. And I hope when you received them, you told them that. You told them exactly what this means. Thank you, this means nothing. She's excited that the subject of lust brought her together with Alexis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first reader, Diana.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. I'm so glad we chose you to do this. You're just absolutely perfect, and we'll have to have a drink later to talk more about it. I'm going to mainly read from Lust tonight, although I'm going to read a couple of poems that touch the subject in my other collections. The Visitor. You come into the night to whisper your kindness into my sleeping ears, as you hypnotize me with your eyes, your voice, and your ways. You rip me from a seamless sleep as you rustle about my rose garden, put me in a tizzy, and then leave. Your online words are coated with warm tea, and when you visit, your warm handshake asks unanswered questions, while the observer in you pulls feelings out of a bucket. My shyness, confusion, and fear envelop me, every inch of me. Your presence. Even when not in the same room as me, I feel your intense and powerful presence, whether yards away or within the fantasies I create. As I wonder what this all means in real messages, or is it just something that propels me forward, dissipating this morning's fog? There are so many things I wonder about you and beg to ask, but you are so much bigger than me, and your voice heard across all the peaked mountains. And I do not dare step on your perfectly aligned toes, even though all I want to do is nibble on them. Here's the title poem. I usually write my poems with the title first. Some poets write their poems and then the title comes after. So for me, the title becomes the outline. Lust. If you know lust like I know lust, you know how it grabs you in places that feel so good, in a way that trumps tomorrow. It snatches and strangles our pasts away and forges forbidden futures, while injecting needles of pure pleasure into every artery receptive for its dose. The more you get, the more you want, as you climb the hill to survival, to the job which pays the bills and fills your dinner plate. When not gasping for pleasure, the door swings open on your far side of town, where the boars reside in boxes stacked upon splintered shelves, which your parents have created. As your independent spirit branches out to seek life's rare erotic pleasures, found inside the scrotum and fallopian tubes of hidden channels of love, until the cell phone rings and snatches you back into reality, the one you crave to leave, in a giant step back into the timeless, lustful tunnel of pleasure. I teach memoir, and so I write a lot about memories, my own memories and other people's memories, and so this poem is called, Do You Remember? Do you remember as clearly as me the yesterday's star, the moment our eyes linked on that bench, in the midst of our heaven, when we realized where we were supposed to be, and every other soldier was in his proper place, and every shoe lined in the closet of time, and every crystal and kernel of sand glistened under its new quarter moon, where you felt that you could walk on water without being called God, and offer hope to anyone who needs it, all because she walked into your life and emptied it. I also write a lot about creativity. I love the word creativity. I don't know, maybe if I say it enough, I'll be it. And my son, who is publisher and editor of the Newer York Press, who's here tonight, thank you for filming this, Josh, had me, I was very honored when he had an event in Washington, or was it Seattle, and he had me read this poem. So I really hold his opinion in high esteem, so the fact that he picked it means a lot to me, so create. Make me the person I want to become. Draw for me the secrets buried under the facade of responsibilities. Allow me to be who I want to be, as I whisper secrets into the pockets of your open mind and the doorways to your heart. Make me the one you wake up to every morning, the coffee that brews you, the ice cream which smothers you. Steal my heart and hold it with those sculpted muscles. Massage it as if you want to keep it forever. And most important, please don't tell anyone our little secret of the person we will become together. So yes, Rick mentioned I am from Santa Barbara, and we do have poet laureates in Santa Barbara. So exciting. And our first poet laureate, Barry Spacks, unfortunately passed away this past January. And I was lucky enough this was the last book that he blurbed. And he was at one of my first reading, actually, and I was really shy because this is like a new subject for me. These were all hidden in back journals and under beds, and finally I broke out with them, but, and I don't know if it was 50 Shades of Grey that did it, but something out there, something in the universe told me that it's time to get out here. I don't like mentioning that book because it's so poorly written. So I hope the author's not here. And what does a 20-something-year-old woman know about any of this? So the poem that Barry chose was Seduction. You never said a word, you never made a nuanced gesture, or took my hand to say that you wanted me. You never wrote me a love letter or said you couldn't wait until we met again. You never bought me a present or said that you never met anyone like me, or that you will miss me during your month-long travel, or that one day you knew our paths would cross again. But today, you could not put your finger on it. There were so many things that you knew without telling me. But I knew all the mutterings of your heart because I could feel the pulses through the deep look into my green eyes, and the way you seduced the dormant woman in me who had been living dead for so many years. Painting. I'm not looking at my watch. How am I doing?
I don't have any.
You're good.
Okay, thank you. You just want to hear that really sexy one. Painting.
Very well said.
Yeah, and actually, my first shooting in Santa Barbara, I had all these stickies sticking out, and like the red ones were the really hot ones, and the purple ones were like, PG. So I asked the audience, so is it purple or red? And they're like, red, red, red. So I don't have those stickies today, so if you have a request, let me know. Painting. From the first moment we met, I painted your body with my long black hair, wisps up and down from your afro head to your perfectly aligned toes. You shivered in delight, and then my grand finale was creating an egg-cracking sound, dribbling its contents with light touch up and down your body, until you begged me to stop. For years on end, that was all Tantra. Well, at least until our firstborn came along, and my hair got erupted in this new mom bob, which you detested because it altered our sexual rituals. Now, decades later, you paint your own art on metal canvases crushed and shellacked as I sit in this rocking chair, hoping and praying you're never able to crush the heart that has adored you for so long. I've never done morphine, but I did write a poem about it. My morphine. Seeing you, touching you, kissing you is the morphine which I love and hate. It is the cure for my wounds anchored in my psyche, this confusing package I am in. When you are far away, being with you comes easy. But like morphine, the more I lay my eyes on you, the more I want you, need you, and crave you. One might say that this addiction might one day kill me. But my hope is you shall never use this power against me. Or that like an overdose, I shall spasmodically fall to the ground in a place distant from your warm heart and your caressing and welcoming arms. Orgasm. This title came after the poem.
Good setup. Good bum.
Okay, this is a red one. You never really told me which ones were the best, or that you'd rather do without one, writhing, restless, and begging for more. You arrive just as eagerly on cold nights as you do on spontaneous love trysts. You possess me and borrow from me until we're interrupted by foreign night sounds or annoying phone calls, which force us to have to stop and start over again. Sometimes I think that you think life is centered around you, like the lion of the zodiac always reaching for the pedestal, or the joystick which brings you towards me so warm, so firm, so friendly, in the darkness which hides surgical flaws and yellowing undies, stolen by time and sent to me in the night, by you, the one I love and want to spasm with, over and over and over again. Thinking of you, or anything connected with you, creates joyous contractions in places only safe for you. Skip that one. Okay, so from the Guilt Gene, I'm going to read, there's only one poem here that's pertinent to the subject. It's called Guy at Bar. I love sitting in bars with my journal and writing about people. They never know I'm writing about them, but they think I'm just journaling. Because there's some interesting characters. I used to go to Starbucks or, Borders, but now we don't have Borders in Santa Barbara anymore, so now I go to bars and sit with my journal. Try not to get picked up, but once they see you're busy, they just ignore you anyway. But it's fun to watch. Kind of like sitting in the back of a taxi in New York. The stories you get. Anyway, the guy at the bar. He sits on the other side of this smoky, remote, pub-sweeting town, downing his fourth mug of brew, pretending he's glancing at the television suspended above my head, but really all he wants to do is catch my eye, get me interested and make me lose my heart, because his has just been broken by that blonde next to him, who at that moment, and don't look now, is flashing the guy with her big belly, who just told her that he'd make love to her better than anyone ever did before. 2 more. Hiccup. Short one. It wasn't your offer or the way you said it. It wasn't the way you did it or how you made me feel. It wasn't the time of day or the month of the year or the shape of the moon caressing us or how the sun rose when you smiled at me. It wasn't how the traffic zipped by on the freeway or how you said goodbye. It was just the way you loved me and cared enough to ask. I was going to read What Women Want, but maybe I won't read that one. Some of the guys can answer that question. Found. 2 short ones and then 1 juicy long one. Wow. It's contagious, Rick. Whatever you gave me.
It's not my fault.
Wait a minute. I need something in my purse. Michelle, where are you? You know what I need?
I know what you need.
And maybe someone else needs one too.
Thank you. Does anybody need a fan?
Oh, wait a minute.
It's broke.
Thank you so much. That's Michelle, my son's girlfriend. She's amazing. She's going to give everyone fans in case they need one.
Yes.
I can't believe I wouldn't end the reading without using it.
The juicy one.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Found. The day my first story came to me, I started smelling roses around you and suffocated in my own delight. Friends do not meet one another. They knew each other from the very beginning. Period. The last poem in my book, it's not the last one I'm going to read, but it's the last one in my book, kind of says it all. It's called Where Else? Where else but in art can you let your fantasies blossom and dreams flower? Nowhere. This poem, I don't know if Tim is here from Rattle, but this is published in Rattle a number of years ago. By the way, Rick, you published one of my first poems back when you first started. Thank you very much for that. It gave me a lot of confidence. It wasn't a sexy poem, but it was a poem. Forgot to say thank you. Alchemy for Happiness, and this is in my little chapbook, and those of you who aren't poets, what we do as poets sometimes is we publish these little raggy things just to test the market and see if people like my stuff. Should I publish a few books? This is my first chapbook from, I think it was anyway, never mind, it was a long time ago. Alchemy for Happiness. Kisses on the inner thigh, the center of a chocolate souffle. Fluffy Maltese puppies, chilled crystal champagne, Beatles concert in the park, bright purple orchids, fresh snow on Christmas morning, roasting marshmallows, half-melted peanut butter cups, mysterious love letters, lying under the Hawaiian sun, writing in Parisian cafes, chestnuts roasting in the oven, mom's chocolate turkeys, wrinkle-free and svelte, multicolored gel pens, Janine's lobster quenelles, Aunt Lily's chicken paprika, reading Anna East journals, French kissing under the full moon, a mink coat on a cold day, journaling in Big Sur, private jet to Fiji, bagels and cream cheese, a scoop of coffee ice cream. Vinaigrette-basted artichokes, hot chocolate at the skating rink, a month at Yaddo or Esalen. Convertible drive on Route 1, freshly caught salmon, chocolate-filled croissants, front row at a Sting concert, yum. Fluffy down comforters, sunbathing on a Caribbean beach, crunchy French bread, runny cherry pies, bunion-free feet, 24-hour bookstores wherever they are, meditating in the Himalayas, bilingual in 5 languages, Aunt Silva's gefilte fish, Chardonnay on the terrace, a bouquet of red roses, Surfing in Hawaii, sipping Alex's double espressos, a box of Good and Plenty, a night with George Clooney. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Thank you.